Hello, this is my second video in this series on research skills and academic writing. So today we're going to talk about something relating to a very important issue of any kind of research, no matter whether we're talking about undergraduate or postgraduate one, and we're going to talk about theory. I know that some people consider theory being like very simple or very limited in some of the aspects of research. However, the important thing about theory is that it provides us with a certain perspective for analysis, certain framework that we can apply to our research. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the relevance of theory and why we actually use so much theory in academic research. And then I'm going to discuss how to apply theory to practice, which I think one of the very important things that people need to learn and which is relevant to which is a relevant skill to acquire as you kind of proceed through academic career and even like educational process in general. So why do we use theories? What are theories for? Well, first of all, theories are incredibly important things in any kind of research, any kind of inquiry. Why they're important? Because they provide a certain framework for us to analyze the reality, certain way to explore what we observe. So we cannot just take everything in and say we have a knowledge of something because we observe the reality. No, theories provide us with a certain framework to look at the cause-effect relationships between different things. They give us certain tools for analysis, certain frameworks to explore the reality the way it is. When someone asks, do we actually have a single theory that explains everything? Well, physicists might have some, but in reality, each theory provides a certain window through which we can explore what is happening in the real world. And that's why we cannot argue that we have one exhaustive theory that would cover everything, that would explain every aspect. As a result, we can argue that theories, they have their strengths and their weaknesses. In other words, they have their advantages and they have their limitations. So once we actually start doing research with a specific theory, we usually know where this research might end or what might be the focal points where we might not be able to proceed, which is fine. So far, we can find certain answers through those theories, through those frameworks. I mean, it's already illustrates a good research that you manage to get to some point to explain certain aspect of reality using that specific paradigm, using that specific theoretical framework, basically. What are the challenges? What are the usual challenges with the theories? Well, often people do not really know how to use them. I mean, okay, so you're saying this is the theory. Okay, what should I do with that? Well, first of all, what you need to do is to decide which topic you're covering and what you're planning to explore in that topic. And here you can choose a theory that would fit your purpose. That's how most of the PhD dissertations and substantial research is being done. You find which tool, which theory would serve your purpose. For instance, if you're exploring international relations, if you're trying to look into the causes of conflicts, then probably you'll be looking into the realist paradigm in international relations. I mean, people can have different perspectives on that. The point here is not to say that other theories cannot explain the conflicts. However, realism addresses that as one of the main principles of that theory. Hence, it would be logical to use something that addresses this in greater detail. So, okay, you've chosen the topic, you know what you need to research, you've chosen the theory. Excellent. So, you know the theory, but how are you going to apply it? you need to learn about the theory. You need to learn what are the key principles of the theory, key elements, what this theory addresses in depth, what are the key assumptions of that theory, if you want to put it, if you want to use that word. And afterwards, when you define these principles, you decide on 2 or 3 principles that you can apply to your case. For instance, if we talk about international relations theory and realism, one of the principles would be that states are the main actors in international relations. So that'll be a first principle that you will explore. The second one would be that actors are driven by their selfish interests. Again, this is the second principle. And the third can be, I don't know, the cause of war would be the hawkish nature of human beings. Again, a bit complex principle, but you can link it to the leadership that decided on wars, especially during the Second World War. You can bring it to the personalities. Again, you can take these 3 principles and then you can apply it to pretty much any conflict or war that you're exploring. So that's one of the ways of doing that. The most important thing in application theory to practical topic is to make sure you don't go too general. So you look into specific principles, you look how these principles can explain specific example that you're covering in your topic. If you're talking about specific conflict, then you can easily suggest that who are the stakeholders, what are the interests of different parties of different countries, what are the dynamics, I mean, why certain things happen. So you look into the cause-effect relationship within the framework of a specific theory. Often, one of the common mistakes when I see students writing ethics on application of theory is they kind of describe the theory, but then they don't use it in their practical case. So they don't think about the principles as certain keys, certain tools for their analysis of the case. And that's usually a huge mistake, and it's really kind of shows that people still didn't grab the idea of how to implement theory, how to apply it to specific cases. As I said, the most important thing here would be distinguish the key principles, identify which of them you will be using in your analysis, link them to specific cases, and provide some evidence. What do I mean by evidence? Provide some primary sources, reports, official statements, some statistics. Many things are there to provide you with some arguments to strengthen your thesis of your essay. So yeah, this is basically my primary tips for how to apply theory to practice. Define your topic, see what would be your argument, how you'd like to argue or how you'd like to answer the research question, then choose the theory that can help you with that. Theories are helpful tools to assist you in your research. They're not scary monsters to frighten you from doing the research. Define the principles of theory. Which principles you would be using, and link them to your practical examples. Link them to what you're actually studying, what you're actually exploring. Use evidence to support that. Yeah, and pretty much this is how you apply theory to practice. Obviously, there are many other specifics, how you use different theories in specific cases, how you do case studies, comparisons, so on and so forth. This is not the purpose of this video, but this is just like introduction how you would be applying theory to practice, what to do with theories and what theories are for. Yeah. So I hope this video was helpful and at least managed to clarify some aspects of how theory should be applied to the practical topics. Thank you very much for your time and see you next time.